All right, guys. Good
All right.
evening. We're going to go ahead and get started. It is 6:35, just in the interest of keeping everybody or keeping the schedule like we should and promise everybody that we'll be out of here by 7:30. I am CJ Stevens. I'm the Director of Insurance for the State Employees Association. I want to welcome everybody here tonight. Tonight we will be talking about or discussing the MetLife products, the MetLife RID, pet insurance, and MetLife Legal. And we have a representative here from MetLife. But before we do that, I'll turn it over to Amy Robinson. She is the on the Scenic Insurance Board, and I'll let her get started, and we'll go from there.
Okay, hello all. It's great to see each and every one of you, and I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to learn more about our scenic supplemental quality insurance products. And of course, like CJ said, we are featuring our MetLife products tonight. And as he said, I'm Amy Robinson, and I'm a member of the insurance board and the Educational Sessions Committee Chair. And I want to thank, of course, my fellow committee members for their support. And I always must thank CJ for all his support for the Insurance Board in general, John Owens for his communication efforts towards making these sessions happen. And I want to thank Janice for all her guidance. I'm going to cry here. Oh my goodness. All her guidance and her passion in supporting and promoting our insurance products. She's, been a mentor to me, so I thank you dearly. And I just want to make a comment about a rule, I guess you'd say. Please submit your questions via Zoom to keep our schedule intact. And with that said, I will pass it on to Janice for a few comments.
I think
Well,
she
I
meant
want,
she meant in the chat. Put your
what
questions
did
in
I,
the chat.
what did I say?
It says submit them by Zoom.
Okay, I'm sorry, in the Zoom
That's
chat.
okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Put them in the chat and we'll answer them as best we can.
Okay, well, I like to again reiterate what what Amy has said, and some of our um, IB committee are not on tonight. They're for different reasons. It is Shrove Tuesday, so some of us have pancake dinners at our churches, but and I'll pass on all the blessings for the upcoming 40 days of Lent. So we don't have to take something away. We can always add something. So do something nice for somebody, or, try on those 40 days, try to do something, whether it's clean a closet or, and donate your goods or whatever you can. But, and I also want to thank Pam for being here tonight representing MetLife. And I'm sure she has lots of good information. And I will get off and turn it over to, do you want it back, CJ, or are you going to
Yeah, I
anything?
want to go over a few things right quick
Okay.
here.
All right.
Thank
Thanks.
you. John, if you will put that other slide up there, we'll be good to go. Go from there. Okay, guys. So again, I want to talk a little bit about the Scenic Insurance Department and all the things that we do and all the programs that we offer, all the insurance plans we offer, and some of the added benefits of having the Scenic Insurance plan. So one of the great benefits I think is we have the year-round enrollment for all of our products. Not just the MetLife, all of our products are year-round enrollment. That's a huge benefit to you as a member of SEANC because you can enroll anytime. You can add your dependents at any time. Um, so take advantage of that. Plus, all of our plans are portable. So if you retire or even if you left state government or you change agencies, you take those plans with you. They don't ever stop unless you cancel the plan. So we have $1,000 accidental death and dismemberment policy with the membership. Doesn't cost you anything extra. So when you become a member, you get that. We also honor domestic partnerships. So if you're not married, your domestic partner can be added to the insurance plans that we offer. And then our Delta Dental offers a $2,000 orthodontia benefit on the premium plan only, and that's for anyone on the premium plan. So you, your spouse, no matter the age, there is no age limit on that. So take advantage of that as well. And of course, no waiting periods for all of our plans. There's a guarantee issue for our life insurance plans for the first 180 days of your SEANC membership. That means there's no health questions, and we have a lot of, we have three life insurance plans that we offer our members, so you can take advantage of that. And then there's no extra fees for our cosmetic lens on the vision plan. So again, go to our website, and that we'll pass that information on along to you at the end of the presentation, how you can access this information. But right now, I want to introduce Pam Gregg. She is a representative from MetLife. She's going to talk about three of the products, the MetLife products that we offer. So Pam, take it away.
Okay, great. Let me share my screen. Can everybody see that okay?
Yes.
Yes, okay,
Yes.
great. I'm gonna try to move my screen around. Hang on a second. No, I'm not seeing it. Sorry about that. Do you still see my screen, my presentation? Yes.
Group
Yes,
insurance.
we see it.
Yes,
Yeah, we
ma'am.
see it. Yeah.
For some reason, I can't see it. It went away. Hang on a second. Oh, gosh.
You might want to just stop sharing and start all over.
I don't know. I don't know where it went, but that's strange. I was trying to get it, to get the people's pictures out of the way so I could see the full screen.
Is it up at the top there?
All
Uh,
right, hang on. Now it just says scenic, doesn't it?
No, it's still up there. If you go to the very bottom of the screen,
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah.
will it pull up everything down there? You see
Yeah,
all
I
the
see everything, like I see share and chat and all that, but I don't see my presentation. All right, I'm just going to stop sharing and, like you said, and start over. Hang on.
yeah.
See what happens. Sorry about that.
Okay.
It's always something.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there we go. I'll work with this. Okay, thank you all for joining. Yes, and thank you for taking time out of your evening. I know, like everyone was saying, we have, everyone has things with their family, things to do, but hopefully you'll learn something new tonight. Hopefully, it'll be worthwhile. I will say that I'm here to talk about three benefits. So I'm here to talk about pet insurance, the legal plan, and identity theft protection. And what I was planning to do, if that's okay, I'm not a good multitasker, so I was thinking I would pause after each benefit. I'm going to do pet insurance first, then I'll pause and we can check the questions if you want, and I can answer questions, and then go on to the next benefit and do the same. And then at the very end, again, I'm happy to answer as many questions as there are, for as long as we need to for till the end of the meeting. So, does that sound like a good plan?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Now, my screen won't advance. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. It's being very slow. Pet insurance. So that's the first thing we're going to talk about. For those of you that have pets, I can imagine you understand that they can be very expensive. Pet insurance can definitely help a whole lot taking care of a lot of expenses. I know that when I was looking at these screens, sometimes statistics and things we use in these presentations are not always this year's numbers. And I was looking at the numbers where it says the cost of routine visits and for surgeries. These numbers are from 2020. And also, this does vary quite a bit depending on where you live in the country. Like, for instance, I do live up near Washington, D.C., and I look at these numbers and I say, that's not what it costs for a vet for a vet exam or for surgery. But again, these numbers they're showing on the screen are from 2020. So we also know that prices have gone up quite a bit for just about everything since then. So when you think of this, when these examples are up here as for instance, $212 for a routine visit for a dog or $426 for surgery. Think about that many times more than that because that's what reality is these days. So, pet insurance is definitely there to help you pay those unexpected expenses. And the sooner you get it when you have a pet, the better. So, I definitely recommend you if you're getting a new pet to look into getting it right away so that you don't have anything unexpected come up and get caught up in that. With MetLife, we have a bunch of great features. The plan is very flexible, lots of different options for you to choose from. You kind of design your own plan among all the different options. Some of the things I want to highlight is that whereas with a lot of plans, some of these features do not apply. With MetLife, we have no breed exclusions. We have no age limits. There's no exam required or vet records required to enroll. And there's no per incident or lifetime limits. All of those are really big deals. A lot of plans have one or two of or some of those limitations on their plans. So make sure you take that into consideration when you are looking at your options to get pet insurance. If you currently have pet insurance, you might want to take out your contract and compare it to the MetLife plan and see how it compares. So again, this is a group plan and you do get discounts because of that. Also, like I said, you can choose from among many different options. There's also optional preventative care coverage. There's a 24-hour telehealth concierge service. I like to kind of tell you it's kind of similar to most health plans these days that have a nurse line. They have a 24-hour nurse line that you can call and ask questions and try to figure out whether you need to go to urgent care or an emergency ER vet or whether it's something that can wait till the next day. Sometimes they can give you good advice over the phone. So it's very similar to that. That's included in our plans. So we also, like I said, we also have discounts. I'll go over that in another slide, but you can get up to a 30% discount on depending on how the discounts add up because there's multiple discounts you can take advantage of. And of course we have a great mobile app that makes it very easy to navigate. So over on the left side of the screen, these are the three, I would call them the three main factors in deciding on designing your plan. The first one is your level of coverage. You can choose anywhere, this would be your annual maximum, basically. You can choose anywhere between $500 and unlimited. It's a big wide range there. And then a deductible. The deductible is the amount that you would be paying up front before MetLife kicks in and pays their portion. So again, there's many, many options there. You can choose between zero deductible and a $2,500 deductible. And then the last thing is the reimbursement percentage. You can choose either 50, 70, 80, or 90% as your reimbursement amount. That's the amount that MetLife is going to pay towards your veterinary bills. And over on the right side are just some examples of all the different things and services that the plan would cover. Very comprehensive. Some plans, well, I should say, in some states, we do have exotic coverage. So this is not 100% across the board. If you may or may not know, but almost, I would say all insurance, no matter what kind of insurance it is, whether it's car insurance, your health insurance, pet insurance, whatever, life insurance, whatever it is regulated state by state. So different states have different rules on, as far as what can be covered. And apparently some states allow the exotic coverage to be on the pet insurance and some don't. So I'm not sure about North Carolina, but I do know that that's something you can look into if you have a bird or reptile or rabbits, etc. Something other than dogs and cats, basically, which is normally standard. But it's very possible that it does cover that also. We have a healthy pet incentive. I'll go over that a little bit more in another slide. And we have pretty much no waiting periods on our plans. The claims process is very easy. You can actually submit a claim either through the mobile app on your phone, on the online portal through your computer, by emailing documents, faxing documents, or if you want to mail it through the mail, you can do it that way too. But with our plan, you can see any licensed veterinarian in the United States. So basically you just make your appointment, you go to the vet, you pay your vet, and you submit the bill. So it's a reimbursement plan. You're not required to use any kind of network. You aren't limited on where you can go. You can again go to any licensed veterinarian. So this is the Pets Rewards program. Um, what I would suggest is, first of all, if once you're enrolled, to, set up your online portal, check it regularly, because a lot of these rewards and a lot of these offers change, and you should check them regularly and see what you can take advantage of, where you can save extra money. All right, so I'm gonna pause here. I can check the chat, or if someone else wants to check the chat and tell me if there are any questions, or would you like me to read out the questions? Are there?
I'll read the questions out for you, Pam. The ones we submitted, I submitted to you. Some of them you've already answered, but I'll just go through them real quickly. Is it a wellness coverage or medical insurance? So do you have, well, it's not medical, I guess, but it's wellness coverage. Do you have that?
Well, the wellness covers is an option, so yes.
Right,
Yes.
right.
It
Yeah,
can be just medical, as far as if you just wanted to cover, illnesses and accidents, or you can also have wellness coverage added on. That is definitely an option.
right. Yeah, and I'll get to that. That's one of the questions Barbara Horton asked about pre-existing conditions, or is that excluded?
Pre-existing conditions, in general, all pet insurance is going to have a limitation on pre-existing conditions, with one exception. If you have prior coverage and that condition was covered under the prior coverage and you're transitioning over to MetLife, we will honor that. So, so that's the one exception to that. But in most cases, most pet insurance does not cover pre-existing conditions, and that's why it's so important to get it as soon as you get your pet, or while they're young. The younger they are, the more likely they're not going to have pre-existing conditions, but you never know when something may occur. So it's definitely good to take advantage of early rather than later.
Just like humans, right?
Just like humans with a lot of other types of insurance, you can't wait till you need it to
The
sign up
early, the
for
younger
it.
you are.
Yeah.
So you're
Exactly,
saying, hey,
exactly.
this is Amy.
And Janice, go ahead, Amy.
I was just going to continue with this question. So you're saying that if you insure your pet early, I'm and
It's cheaper the early
Before
you,
they get before they get
right,
diagnosed with something.
right.
Yep.
gotcha. Okay,
Yep.
okay. Thank you.
So
Um,
yes.
and Janice asked about claims, how quickly are claims paid? Well, it's a reimbursement.
It's a reimbursement. So
Right.
when you file your first claim, they will ask you to submit the medical records at that time. So that's how they determine whether something's a pre-existing condition or not. That's not, some plans require that before you can even get coverage. So they require that to approve you. MetLife doesn't do that. They wait till you file your first claim and then you submit the medical records. So the first claim may take a little bit longer, but other than that, it's going to be very straightforward, very fast, very easy.
Okay. That's good to know. Um, are there any payout limits? I think you mentioned that. I guess it's based on the plan that you have, or what? How does that work?
So you can choose.
Choose
I was
your
thinking I had a
limit.
slide for that, but and maybe I don't. Well,
I-
the limits of coverage. So you can choose anywhere between 500. This does say unlimited. I will say too, that's another one that sometimes that's unlimited may or may not be available in your state. Um, Generally, you can choose from 500 to 25,000. But yes, you can choose in between. Um, very a lot of options there. But
Okay.
that's the annual limit.
And the claims forms, they're on your MetLife portal, correct?
On the portal.
Website.
Yes, you can file directly on your app or on the portal. Very easy without actually, printing and filling out any forms. Yep. And then
That's what.
upload your documents, upload the receipts and any other documents that you need to upload. Very easy to do if you want to do it that way. Or you can actually print out a form and mail it all in or fax it or whatever way is easiest for you.
Okay. And with this, there's no specific veterinarian you have to go to or you can't go to. You can go to anybody and because it's going to be reimbursement,
Right.
right?
There's no network. So
Exactly.
no required network.
All right.
Any licensed veterinarian.
And I think you answered this before. Any breed limitations?
Nope.
That's exactly
Nope.
what I thought. Okay. All right. That's all the questions I have. Anybody else have any questions uh, regarding pet
Are there any
insurance?
questions in the chat?
Yeah, we've answered all the questions in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
CJ, I had one more question. Do you, with the rewards or the things that come across that are offered in monthly or whenever, um, are there any like discounts that you would take to the vet, or how does that work?
Let me see. I was trying to think if I had a flyer on that. I don't know. I was trying to see where I could explain that better. I don't think I have it saved on
Just
this.
an example, if you know of an example, like
Well, it's sort of like a lot of websites offer discounts on a lot of different types of things. Let me go back to that slide.
If you plus if you could send me that flyer, that might be something useful we could put on our website
yeah,
and
Yeah.
help sell the product as well.
yeah, I think that that would be a benefit to people if they knew they were going to get rewards, much like you get, sales at the grocery store or whatever. I mean, CVS, they'll send you 10% off or a coupon for certain things. So I just wondered if you had an example. And I think she put a question in the chat.
Yeah, so does pre-existing condition include arthritis?
Hmm. That's probably not a question I can definitely answer. I can't say for sure whether some specific condition would be covered. But I imagine, again, pre-existing conditions in general are considered something where the symptoms occurred before you signed up for the insurance. Now, if you've
Right.
never been to the vet, um, arthritis is usually a pre-existing condition if it's something they've had for a while, even if you've never had it treated. So you have to think about it as, um, that's usually not something sudden.
Right.
If they had an accident and they tore their CCL and had to have surgery, that's something sudden. That's something very different than a chronic arthritis that's gradually, progressively getting worse and started a long time ago. Um,
Do you have a
but if you were just going to the vet for the first time and it's early on and that and you already have the insurance, then I wouldn't see that would be a pre-existing condition. But um, I
well a lot
I
a
don't
lot
think I
of
can answer real specific claims type questions like that. But
right. Well, a lot of times, arthritis, even with people, it's treatable. It's not a surgery type of condition.
right.
But do you have a list, or is there a list that even we could have in selling the insurance of exclusions or not?
No, because it wouldn't necessarily be excluded.
No,
It could be
all right.
covered.
I just if you knew of
It's
the
just a pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
pre-existing major ones.
I mean, it's generally a matter of whether they've had symptoms and whether you've talked with a vet about it before. I mean, if if you honestly go to the vet and say this, my dog just started this, and you've already signed up for the insurance and you already have it, most likely it will be covered. But it depends on what your vet says too. I mean, if your vet's gonna fill out the claim form and they may say this dog has a chronic condition that they've had for a long time, it may be contradictory to what you might think, or I don't know.
Yeah, I would
Maybe.
think if you're going to the vet and it's to be considered to get treatment for something that your dog has prior to, then to me that's a pre-existing condition.
Yeah, but it would be nice to know if there are some conditions that are excluded, just a heads up, but
Well, there's no specific conditions that are excluded.
okay. All right, thank
Whether
you.
it's considered pre-existing is it could be, any condition.
Right. All right.
Hi,
All right,
this is
I made a note about you want some more information on the rewards and how that works. I'll make a note
Yeah, yeah. If you
of
have a
that.
flyer, just email that to me and then we'll get that up on our website.
Okay,
Thank you. Yep.
definitely.
Hey, this is Amy. I mean, I know you indicated that your plan is very flexible because you choose your deductible, you choose your percentage, your reimbursement percentage, etc. But can you throw out some numbers that such as if you took the lowest option in terms of money, can you throw out some numbers? I mean,
You mean with the premium costs? Is
correct.
that what you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me just look at something. I thought I did have something with some examples. Let me just see if I can find that. Hmm. And again, the prices, let me just look real quick. But I will say it's very easy to get a quote. I mean, you can
Okay.
call and just get a quote quickly right over the phone. Very, very easy.
And you can do it on the
So,
website on our website too. If you just go to the link on the website and put your information in there, you get a quote back in no time.
yeah. All right, so I do have some examples that these are just examples. Let me uh I can share this, I think. Let me just share this other screen. It might be helpful. Can you see this here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so this is just some rough examples of what you could get. So here's a couple examples. So this first column right here has a $250 deductible with a $5,000 annual limit, and it pays you sort of like a middle of the road plan, um, as far as what all of our options are. So it has a 70% reimbursement. 2-year-old dog, $31 a month, a 6-year-old dog, 38, a 10-year-old dog, 71. So you can see, um, obviously, like with people too, the older we get, the more our insurance costs.
Mhm.
Um, now the next column over includes wellness benefits, so that would give you money to help pay for like preventatives and wellness checkups and things like that. So whether you think that's important or not, you can add that on. But this is sort of a middle deductible, a middle reimbursement amount. You can have a higher up to 90% reimbursement. The cost would be a little more. You can have a higher annual limit. Um, Higher deductible would lower the cost. So a lot of flexibility there.
Okay, thank you. I mean, I just had not seen numbers, so thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So Amy, if I may, CJ, just to give an example, I
Sure.
have a Shih Tzu. When I got her covered, she was 8 weeks old. We have a 7,000 policy period limit, a $500 deductible. The coverage percentage is 90%, and her premium is about $57 a month.
That's good coverage.
Mhm.
So that kind of gives that example as well, Amy.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. Anything else for the pet insurance? No?
Okay. Thank you. Let's keep it moving.
All right. See if we can get it to move again. All right, we're going to talk about the legal plans. Legal plans. So, I like to talk about the legal plan, like compare it to having an attorney on retainer. And most of the time we think of that as far as very wealthy people have an attorney on retainer, or very large corporations have attorneys on retainer. Well, you can have a similar arrangement with the MetLife legal plans, because basically it's there for you to call whenever you need it. And I'll go over many of the different issues that you can use it for. But once you're enrolled, all of the covered services are covered at no cost to you. No copay, no deductible, there's no claim form. Um, it's what I also say too is basically, yes, you know who to call and you know where you can get coverage. There's unlimited consultations. They can represent you in court if you need to. Most people don't have any clue as to how many different ways an attorney can help you throughout your life. And if you did end up needing an attorney, the average cost per hour is $391 approximately right now. And when they charge you for everything. They charge you by the minute. They charge you for phone calls. They charge you if they have to uh, draw up a document, or if they have to review a document. They're charging you that entire time. And in this example here, where it says cost savings, where it says $391 an hour is the average cost for an attorney, compared to a $20 monthly fee for a legal plan. That's your legal plan. The plan that you have negotiated with MetLife is not even $20 a month. It's $12.95 a month, according to my information. And that is very low. Most of our plans are around $20 a month through employers. So you all have great rates on this plan. So when you compare that, and you can include your family, your family is included at that price too. So I'm going to go over a little bit more detail how this works. But here on this screen, it's going to show you an example, a sampling, I would say, of all the different events and situations where you can use the plan that are covered. So again, throughout your life, there are a lot of different things that will happen where an attorney could be very, very helpful to you. And many times, people don't take advantage of getting help from an attorney for a couple different reasons. One is obviously you're worried about the cost. It's very, very expensive to hire an attorney. And number two, sometimes you just don't know. You don't know who to call. You don't even know that an attorney might be able to help you with some of these situations. So, on the screen, you can see family issues like adoption, prenuptial agreements, estate planning, asset issues, buying or selling a home. If you have this plan and you're buying a home or you're refinancing your home, you can use your plan attorney to cover those attorney costs inside the closing costs. So you save money on your closing costs by using your plan attorney rather than using a different outside attorney. I would bet that some people forget they even have that option and just sign the papers and pay for the attorney that's doing the closing, but you don't have to do that. Of course, you can have wills and trusts and debt issues. They can cover you for bankruptcy. They can represent you in a tax audit with the IRS, identity theft, pet liabilities, and we were talking about pet insurance. Um, this can cover you if some reason your pet were to bite somebody and you were being sued. So, or any kind of civil matter where someone might be trying to force a lawsuit on you. This plan can help you with that. So with the legal plan, once you're enrolled, it's very easy to use. So we make it very easy to find an attorney. You can find an attorney. You can either call our customer service number and speak with someone, and they can help you figure out who the best attorney would be for you, and they'll find one in your area. They can even help you make your first appointment. If you would prefer to do it online, of course you could do it online, and we have all kinds of filters that you can use to find the right attorney for what you need. You can also look up your plan at any time, and I highly recommend this. Again, with all insurance, you ought to be reviewing it carefully at least once a year or more often, just to remind yourself of what you have and make sure you're taking advantage of any of the benefits that you can take advantage of. One of the really nice features we have on the website is our digital estate planning services. So this is where you can you can design, draw up, uh, trying to think of what the word I'm trying to think of, but make up your own legal documents in some of them, it's easy in as little as 15 minutes. So you can do a living will, you can do a will, and you can do a power of attorney online if you're a do-it-yourself type of person and you have a fairly simple estate. It's actually very easy to do, very easy because the computer will ask you questions. One of the first things it'll ask you is what state you live in, so that when it starts asking you the questions and at the very end when it prints out the documents, they're actually legal documents based on your state law and what's required. So this is a very good way to get some of these documents done if you have not ever done them, or if your original documents are very old and maybe you've been planning to make an appointment with an attorney and maybe you still will in the future. But in the meantime, you could draw up a will or again, a power of attorney or a living will and have those in place right now until if and when the time comes you do meet with an attorney and you need to make any changes. You may or may not need to make changes. You may have done it yourself. And but anyway, that comes with it if you like that idea. I always tell people to check it out and try it out, and you might be surprised. So here is an example of again, some sample costs of what it would be with it, without the plan and with the plan. So for instance, a will, they're saying a cost of a will is $391. Some of these prices again are going to vary based on region, but I've talked to people who've paid lot more money than that for their wills. So, power of attorney and a living will. So all three documents, they're going to charge you separately for those. And in this example, it's showing you if you went to an attorney and had that done, it would cost you approximately $1173. Now they're telling you here the cost of your legal plan. Again, they're using that $20 a month figure. The cost for your plan is $13 a month, so it's much cheaper. So the savings is more than $933 just for these three documents that you went to an attorney and paid for without the plan using the plan. So whether you use an attorney to have these documents done or you use the digital estate planning tool that's online, you're saving a lot of money just on this one small area of what's covered. All right. I think that was my last slide on the legal plan. Before I go on to the identity theft, I guess we should go over our questions that we
Yeah,
have
I
for
do
the
have a
legal plan.
question I have a question from the chat. Let me see here. It is from Rashia. Says she was informed there may be costs after consultation if you need to, you know, use them further, more than just for the consultation.
Not if it's a covered service. So that's the key. If it's a covered service, there is no cost, whether it's consultation, whether it's a phone call, whether it's in-person meeting, whether it's representation in court, whether it's drawing up documents, whatever's needed, it's covered. So
Yeah,
now you have to be a little bit, again, with insurance, you have to be a little bit specific because sometimes you may go in and start talking about something that's not covered. So, um, generally speaking, there's certain things that aren't going to be covered. Like, for instance, you can't be suing your employer. We always exclude that, for instance. Um, I think I had someone once tell me that I was trying to remember exactly what they said wasn't covered. It had to do prenuptial agreements are covered. It was something similar to that, but it wasn't a prenuptial agreement that they had done. It may have been after they were married. They drew up some kind of documents, and that was not covered because it wasn't technically a prenuptial agreement. But if it's a covered service, it's not just a consultation. It's not just a one-time free consultation.
Well,
Now,
of course,
if it's not a covered service, generally they will give you a discount. It's usually about a 25% discount on on non-covered services if you need their assistance with other issues that are not covered.
yeah, okay. And you do have to pay if it's a court cost and fine, just say if you get a traffic ticket, you have to pay the court costs and the fine.
Yes,
That's not
yes,
included in the representation.
yes. The plan
Um,
covers the attorney costs,
right,
but any
right.
other fines or court costs, yes, you would be responsible for.
She also added that I was informed that they only do attorney court for the first, closing costs for the first home only. I,
Mm,
I guess
that's
if you bought a second home and you still have the plan, you should be able to use it, right?
uh, she may be talking about like a vacation home or something. I'm not certain on that one. Not certain on the answer to that one.
Rochelle, you want to ask?
Yeah, I do. So if you're purchasing your second home, they were saying that it wouldn't be covered.
Are you talking about like a second home, like a vacation home, or
No,
like you bought a home, sold a home, bought another home?
yeah, bought a home, and moving out and buying another home.
That's something pretty specific, but that doesn't seem like it would be the case.
Well, we can dig deeper into that tomorrow and find out for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, are you still in the process now, or you've already done it, or?
No, this was recently, and of course I'm about to do it again. So yeah, I was told several times when I reached out, if it's not the first home, they won't represent you on that.
I mean,
And
are
you're
you doing
enrolled
this
right
for?
now in the MetLife legal plan?
Say it again.
Are you enrolled right now in the MetLife legal plan?
Oh I needed it, so I got in it. I actually just used it last week, so yeah.
Huh. I'm gonna make a note of that too. Um,
Yeah, we'll check on that, and we'll get together, Pam, and just figure that out, and then I mean, you send me the response, and then I'll forward it to Rochelle.
okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let me just make a note.
Um,
Yep.
let me see. We got a couple of questions. We want to move quickly here. Let me see. Can I get help finding the right attorney? Yes, you can. The question is, can I get help finding an attorney for my needs? Yes, yeah, I
Yes.
think we've answered that. How are attorneys selected for the network?
So attorneys are given, like for instance, MetLife, uh, we have actually training on how they're supposed to handle clients and what's covered. And so we have extensive training. And the attorneys that we have in our network have an average of over 25 years of experience. So they're very experienced. We're not taking people right out of law school with no experience. So um, they are definitely selectively selected, I would say. Yes.
Okay. And question is your spouse and domestic partner, family members covered? The answer to
Yes.
that is yes. Yeah. Can I
Yes. And
use
all
the
for that
plan?
one fee, that $12.95 a month fee is includes your family.
Right, right. Can I use the plan outside my state, which is North Carolina?
Yes. It's nationwide coverage.
What about international coverage?
It's, as far as I know, it does not cover international coverage. It's just in the
Okay.
US.
Can I use an attorney that's not in the network? Probably not.
You can, but I don't think it won't be covered in full. I can guarantee you that. So it will be a limited reimbursement, basically. You'd have to pay up front and submit the claims. Um, so they're not going to blanketly pay whatever the bill is. It's going to be probably, it's kind of like using, I don't know, I like using your vision plan. Like if you go in network, you have great benefits, you barely pay anything, but if you go out of network and you file a claim, you get very little reimbursement. Um, you're not going to nearly be as happy if you go out of network as you will be if you stay in network as far as what you would have to pay out of pocket. I'm sure of that. But
Yeah. Okay.
but it's an option if you have an attorney that you really want to go to, you can file that claim.
So Barbara Horton asks, is the program the same whether you have the benefit through SEANC or through your employer?
Say that again.
Is the benefit the same? Because some of the state agencies, I guess they have their agency offers through, I
Okay.
guess, a rep through MetLife.
If they're MetLife plans, they're very similar, but there could be slight differences from
Yeah.
employer groups. There could
Yeah.
be some slight wording, some slight things different that are covered. So it would be a good idea if you do have more than one option there, just to set them out side by side, to compare.
Hmm.
Could there could be some slight differences. It's like a lot of times people will tell me, like if I'm at a benefit fair, someone will say, "Oh, I have that," but they're talking about they have it with their spouse. It may not be the exact same plan. Exactly. It's going to be close and similar, but you want to compare everything. You want to compare all the services that are covered and what the monthly fee is. Those are the two things that are big things you'd want to compare.
Yeah. Okay. Is there an age limit on children, 25 or older? Is they live in your home or?
I think on the legal plan, again, I don't have that in front of me on off the top of my head, but it's probably like 26, but it's not unlimited in age.
So in the event of a divorce, can both spouses use the plan for an attorney? As long as you don't get the same attorney, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Um, Now I'm not positive. I'm not 100% positive. Are you talking about for the cost of the divorce attorneys? Or are you talking about can you still both use the plan if you get divorced, as far as for other services? That's a, is that someone
Yeah,
in the
this is a
chat?
question. It just says in the event of a divorce, can both spouses use the plan for an attorney or only the employee? Well, if you're divorced and you're not living in the same household, we're not married anymore. So
You're not really covered.
yeah, you're not cut. Your spouse is not covered. If it has to be you're married or living in the same house, or if you're domestic partner. Yeah,
Right.
good question though. All right. Well, we got about 8 minutes, 7 minutes.
CJ, Laura had a question that you missed, I think.
Where's Laura's question? I don't
If you
see
had
it.
a landlord problem, meaning I'm the landlord, do you cover this problem?
Generally, if you as the employee are the landlord, no. If you're the tenant, yes. Same with businesses. Like if you have a business and you have an issue, it's like your business, like a side job or side business or whatever. Um, no, it's personal. This is a personal plan. So it does not cover the business. But if you are a tenant and you're having issues with your landlord, then yes, you're covered.
Gotcha. All
Now
right.
you're covered for civil suits. So I don't know, maybe if someone were to sue you, um, then it might be covered. Yeah.
But you can't, as a landlord, you can't use an attorney for like maybe the eviction purposes or whatever.
No.
But yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
But if you're getting evicted and you're the tenant, you can. So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
Rashia said they do consultations on contracts as landlords. So that's something, I guess. So
Yeah.
okay, cool.
And
Uh,
again, that could be something that they might cover, but they might charge. I mean, the attorney might help you with that, but if it's not a covered service, they're going to charge you something for it. So,
right.
yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Let's move on to ID theft. We
All
got
right,
a
let's do that. I
couple
have to
minutes
change
left.
my presentation here. I'll be right
Hmm.
there and we'll go over this one. Everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Our last benefit here is the fraud and identity theft protection. Trying to get my screen to advance here. There we go. Okay. So obviously, we all do more and more and more online, and we use lots of devices. We spend a lot of time online. Identity theft and fraud is just becoming uh, everywhere. It's more and more important to have that covered and take care of as much as you can to prevent cybercrime and identity theft. And these numbers down here at the bottom are kind of amazing when it says there's over 2,000 fraud complaints the FBI receives daily. That seems unbelievable. That's a lot. That's a lot. 2,000 a day, I would say. 10 billion in losses, victim losses last year. Um, Obviously, everybody should be worried about all of these issues. So this plan is here to help you with those types of issues and help try to prevent and help you if anything ever were to happen. The biggest thing is to try to prevent things from happening. So you can sign up for fraud protection alerts, which means you would anytime something suspicious shows up as far as somebody applying for credit, any kind of suspicious bank transactions, changes to your accounts, home, car title. I think one of the most frightening things is those commercials that talk about someone stole the title to your home and now you don't own your home anymore. That's like a terrifying thought. But anyway, that's the things you have to worry about, and those are things you can get fraud alerts on. Again, identity theft. When you sign up for this plan, the more information you give them, the more they can monitor. So they can monitor all of your accounts, your credit by your social security numbers, your driver's license, all kinds of things. They can keep a track of if they see that showing up somewhere, they can alert you to that. If you were a victim of identity theft, you have under this plan a $5 million insurance coverage for that to help you restore your credit or your finances or whatever's needed. There's 24-hour support. You can call anytime if you need to, or if if something's going on and you need help. The plan is this is this is probably the best plan out there. Aura is a well-known, very thorough company that covers our identity theft protection. They use military grade encryption. You will get a Wi-Fi VPN that you can use when you're surfing the web so that it keeps your information more private, helps keep hackers out. There's a service where you can hide your real email address when you're using it for things, which can also reduce spam tremendously in your email inbox. You can actually have them search for they call it the dark web, where they look for your name and information out there, and they can try to scrub it from those sites. And they can, you can have anti-adware, phishing, things like that, tracking to make sure that nobody's following you. So on this plan, a little bit different than the legal plan because you can choose individual coverage or family coverage. But when I talk to you about this, most people will probably choose family coverage. There's only a few dollar difference in costs. And this plan, family, is very broad. Under the family coverage, you can choose to cover up to 10 additional adults under this plan and an unlimited number of minor children. They don't ask who these people are. They don't ask if they live with you. You can add them to their plan and they can take advantage of all the same identity theft protections that you do for that $13.50 a month. So this is quite unique here. So you don't have to prove it's your spouse, or they don't have to be a child of a certain age because they minor, they're covered. Once they become an adult, you can put them on as an adult. 10 adults is an awful lot to be able to be covered under your plan. So this screen is a little bit small probably to read, but it goes into all the different things that it covers as far as financial fraud protection, credit monitoring, of course, checking your credit score to see if there's been changes, home and vehicle title monitoring. Again, to me, that's a very scary issue there. So because those advertisements really scare you. They say you don't even find out till they've already sold your home to someone else, and it's like a nightmare to try to prove that it was your home and you didn't do that. But there's also a lost wallet protection, so you can get up to $500 in emergency cash if you need it, if you've lost your wallet. That a lot of people like the safe family safety stuff with the child identity monitoring to make sure with kids playing games these days and online so much, it's hard to keep track, and this way you can try to keep them safe. This is just an example of a family how it was important to them. They have kids. They do online banking, online shopping. The kids spend a lot of time on social media. This plan gives them peace of mind to know that they're all protected and trying to stay safe. So this slide kind of links the how hand in hand the MetLife legal plan and the identity theft and fraud protection can go together and complement each other. For instance, this is an example of Lisa who buys a home. So the MetLife Aura identity and fraud protection plan will check, monitor credit reports, and it'll detect that she's applied for a new loan. This will trigger the MetLife legal plans to offer, you can use that for your attorney services for your closing of your home. So you saved money on that portion, and just one very simple example of how they can kind of overlap and work together. I think this is my last screen. So this one is got the contact information for all plans. I don't know, if you want to, you can take a screenshot of this or take a picture with your phone but it's got the phone numbers for customer service for all three plans. Also, if you're registered on My Benefits, the MetLife website under My Benefits, you can see the coverages there. And if you're already enrolled, you can see all your plans. Okay, questions on this one?
Okay, so Laura has a question. So one of the houses she owns is not covered by Aura. She was told there's no proof that she owns the house. She
Oh,
called the deeds office in the county, and she is the true owner. So Aura could not cover it. So
that sounds a little complicated to me.
yeah, Laura, you want to explain that?
Well, I had the house is the house that I was reared in, and it came to me through a will. And when I talked to the county office about it, the woman said, you inherited this house. And so if Aria is looking, are they looking for deeds or what are they looking for to prove that I own it? But I called them back and they said, well, we're not going to cover it. So, I mean, what am I supposed to do about it?
Well, that I don't really want to get too detailed into that, but it sounds like you should still have the deed should be transferred to your name if you inherited it. That doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you if it can happen, it'll happen to me. I'll tell you that.
But is that something recent or is that
Yes, ma'am, it was. I didn't enroll until late last year, and it's just been within the last several months.
Is it
I
the actual house? The deed has your name on it?
Yes, it goes with. I inherited it through the farm and all the other stuff that I got when my mother died.
has that all been settled? Has the estate all been
Oh,
settled?
yes, she's been dead for 25 years.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering when I said recently, um but it still seems like you'd have the deed would be changed. It would be put in your name. It would need to be.
She said it is in her name. The deed is in her name.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's not covered, but they do have a fraud protection in that office. And so I put it on their fraud protection. So I gave up. I mean, it's too complicated to try to get it fixed.
Yeah, I can't, that's above me, that's for sure.
Yeah. Um, Rashia has a question. What happens when there's a theft of identity while you're on the plan? Depends on what kind of what do you be more specific there? It could be stealing your banking information, stealing your, I mean,
So,
Rashia.
I'm sorry, I'm multitasking. Would it like help you, get your stuff back? Whether, whatever the identity theft is, would it help resolve it?
Yes.
And plus you have the $5 million
Yes.
insurance policy too. Yeah. Um, let me see. We got some more questions. Let me find those. Okay. How will I know if any of my personal information has been used by someone else?
So they will send you fraud alerts, so you
Mhm.
can have them sent by text or email, however you set up your plan. Because when you join it, you're gonna go into the website and put in a lot of information, and just you tell them how you want to be alerted, but they're gonna be sending you alerts anytime anything, if you apply for a new credit card, they're going to alert you. So you're going to say, "Oh yes, I know I did. I did that on purpose." It's to make sure you know what's going on. So, occasionally sometimes that happens with your credit card company. They're trying to monitor their credit cards too to make sure. And every once in a while, you may get a call from your credit card company saying, "Did you make this purchase?" It's similar, except it's much broader, much, much broader.
What should I look for on my credit report? I'm not sure if you can answer that.
You want to look at your credit report at least once a year, but really more than that. You want to try to do it probably quarterly. You want to make sure that everything on there is correct. You want to make sure all of the debts that are shown on there are your debts. You want to make sure there's nothing that's not yours. I mean, that's the biggest thing right there. That there's nothing on there that doesn't look like it belongs to you, that it has to do with you. Very important.
Yep. What can I do to protect my identity?
Things you can do to protect your identity. Um, I will say that the Aura website has a lot of good tips on there. I probably um I would have to look for a document to pull it up, but there's they have a whole long list of things you should do to protect your identity and to help keep things from happening. But yeah, I would definitely say check out the website because I know that they do have a long list of things you should do.
Like enroll in Aura. That would be one.
Exactly. Of course. Yes,
Um,
definitely.
yeah. Can I still apply for credit after a fraud alert has been placed on my credit report?
Yes. So what a fraud alert does is it if you do apply for credit, the creditor will see that and they will actually take extra steps to make sure you're the person that you say you are. So they're gonna actually be extra careful to make sure, and they may ask for extra documents. They may from you that you're applying for credit because you put a fraud alert on your account. So they're going to make sure that you are who you are. Um, so yeah.
You can also use the app to lock your credit report, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
I've
locking
done.
it is a little bit different. So locking it, you have to
Right,
actually unlock it if you want to apply for credit.
right,
So,
right. But it does prevent others from actually
mhm.
using,
Yep.
purchasing something in your name and your credit gets a
Yes.
ding or whatever. So yeah. All right. Uh, that's all the questions I have. Anybody else have anything in the chat want to ask? Okay.
Did y'all catch the last one? What happened? Or did I miss it? What happens when there is a theft of identity while on the plan? You may have already said this is from Marcia.
You
Yeah,
should
we answered
contact
that. Yeah, I
the
thought we
plan
did.
right away and start
Okay.
working with them. Yep. So they can start restoring everything, doing whatever they need to do wherever it's been compromised. But the coverage is the phone lines are open 24 hours a day. So
Hmm. And Pam, you may not know this, but we had some issues. We've had issues with Aura as far as being able to change plans with our members. If you had the basic plan or individual plan, you couldn't go up to the family plan. That has been resolved. So
Yes, I
if you
just
go
heard
to,
that too.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So if you go to you can only do it on the website. You can't do it on the app yet, but I tried it today and it does work. So you can switch plans or add your family plan if you want to. Just go to the website, log in, and it's really, really easy to do. So, all right. So if
Very
we have
good.
no more questions, I do want to thank Pam for taking her time to be on tonight. We appreciate you, and it was a great presentation. A
Thank
lot
you.
of good information here. Yeah, if you would send me this deck, and I will hang on to that, and you know, for use in the office. I mean, it's a lot of great information here.
Okay, what we'll do.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Pam.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for having MetLife.
Thank
And
you.
if anybody has any questions later on, like tomorrow, the next day, you can always give us a call at the Scenic office. You can go to our website. You can go to scenicinsurance.org and send us an email. Any questions you have related to insurance, we'll be glad to answer those for you. Just call us directly at the office. We do have an insurance staff there from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. So feel free to call. Enrollments, we do enrollments there as well. So we do it all. But thank everybody. Amy, you want to close it out?
Certainly. My closing comment is an invitation to the April 1st session, which will include our home health care and teledoc. And CJ said that the critical care needs to be postponed to the next month. So we'll get that all worked out. But thank you again for participating. It's always good to see your smiling faces.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, night.
Good night.